What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Emerald to Diamond team call. I appreciate you guys waiting and being on this call, even though we're running a little bit late. So thank you very much. Today's topic of conversation is going to be everything social media. So we're going to talk about how to do the most important thing that we do as coaches, which is share on social media so that people can grow to know, like, or love, and trust us. If we do not share in the right way, or if we do not share effectively, truly get our point across as to who we are as people, it's really hard for people to be connected to us. If people are not connected to us, it's hard for them to trust us and want to join us in our journey or have us help them. So it's vitally important that we understand deeply how to share ourselves in a true, authentic manner, which amazingly with Beachbody is totally different than most of the companies. And it's one of the things I love the most about what we get to do and how we get to do it. So I think the best way to kind of really explain this to people and really go through this is to have us audit Facebook pages. So first of all, right now, Deanna is going to go through Alicia's Facebook and audit that and kind of make some pointers on maybe things she's doing great, as well as things that we could maybe change up that might be a little bit more effective. During that time, if anybody on this call is willing to have their page audited real quickly afterwards, that'd be fantastic. Throw it in the chat box. I'm ready. With that said, prior to doing that, make sure that your profile is set to public and not private. So if for any reason your profile is private, make sure that it's set to public so that everybody can see it in case we're not friends. But we're going to jump in right now. And Deanna, if you want to share your screen and dive into tearing Alicia's Facebook apart.
Okay.
And be mean to her because she was rough on me, man.
She was rough. She was good. She was thorough. Okay, can you guys see? I'm scared. Can you guys see it okay? Okay. All right. Now let's hopefully my internet is working better than it was. Oh, tell you. I'm gonna make it big, so I'm not gonna see you guys. Okay, here we go. Here is Alicia's page. So I get to piggyback off what she did in the last group because it was fantastic. Would have taken me like 2 minutes and I would have been all blah because that's how I roll. But she was very thorough, which gave me a lot of great input and insights as to what to really focus on. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to focus on your profile page or your profile picture, because as we're growing our network, as we're sending out friend requests, this is kind of like our first impression, right? So we want people to see who we are, right? So one thing I love about her picture, and my internet's going slow, is it's really close up so I can see who she is, because I always go in with a mindset of they're going to be on their phone. Like, I don't know what the stats are, but like a crazy amount of people are viewing Facebook and Instagram on their phone. So you don't want to have like a picture that's far away because you're like, I can't really see who you are. Or if you have a picture of, your whole entire family, you want to have a picture just of you, just of your face. So when you send a friend request or somebody's thinking about following you on Instagram, they can see who you are and instantly connect with your face, look at your eyes and see, is this somebody that I want to kind of, know more about? So really super important, make sure it's clear. Guys, I'm going to say this and I'm going to sound like a broken record. If you guys do not have, lighting is everything. So you can see that, her face is lit up. So grab your phone. It doesn't have to be professional. People always think, oh gosh, photos have to be so professional. Not at all. Go in front of a window, maybe like early in the day or later in the afternoon, just before sunset. Take a photo. The lighting is beautiful. Go outside, get some light. If you don't have light, grab some artificial light, right? But use the light to your advantage. Don't have it behind you, have it in front of you. The next thing is going to be your cover photo. So a cover photo, again, you just kind of want to have that kind of paint a little picture or tell a little bit about who you are. So this tells me, wow, she's a mom, she's a wife, and, they're just happy, right? So you're just like, wow, that looks like the all-American couple. I want to be like that, or I can kind of relate to that. I can't, I'm a hot mess, but it kind of, just invites you into their story or invites them into your story, right? To, again, it's kind of like a calling card. Or, you know, just think about, this is your storefront. At the end of the day, your profile page is your storefront. So what are they walking into? Are they, you know, are they walking, this sounds really bad, but are you walking into a Goodwill store where everything's just thrown about? Or are you going into like a pretty boutique where things just are, you know, kind of placed where your eye just naturally is like, wow, this is really great. So I would say to keep a cover photo kind of simple. My personal opinion, and this could be different from everybody, when I actually post, I try not to use collages, because again, always remember that the majority of people are looking on their phone. So if you do a collage, like for instance, if you're doing a before and after picture, I tend to only do a side by side, because if you're doing 6 pictures and they only have a thing this small, you're like, I can't really see the difference because it's so small. So I would say get, you know, a collage up here is fine because it's usually bigger, but in your posts, I would say to try to keep them simple. Next thing is your intro. So this gives people a little peek into, you know, what to expect when they scroll through your page. So she's a twin mom boss, she's a fit foodie, she's an unstoppable dreamer, and then she's got a link tree link that probably directs them to other places, like maybe an upcoming challenge group application, or maybe to Instagram or things like that. So it kind of gives me a little peek into her life and what she's about and what I should expect to see on her page. The next thing is, these are, I can't remember what they're called. Alicia, what are these 5 pictures called? Do you know?
I think they're called highlights, or like
highlights.
Something highlights. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So you have the option to have photos highlighted or kind of profiled right here. So, you know, what you can do is an existing photo that maybe has already been shared on Facebook. I think that there's like a little button, or you can go to, we'll have to look at that because I'm not exactly sure. But again, it kind of tells a story, right? So she's into health and fitness because check out those guns, right? She's got a transformation. You're just like, what? I need to know more about this, right? She's a mom and she's having fun with her fitness. She's also, wow, meal prep. I need to know more about meal prep, right? And then I see this girl boss, which ties into kind of her mom boss thing, right? Because it's showing other girls and it's showing community. And if you're a community driven person like I am, that's really going to connect with me, because I'm like, well, I want to be a part of this like girl squad. This is pretty dope, right? So really, you know, you can do 1 picture, 2 picture, but I think you have up to 5. So there is that information. And so now we're going to scroll through her Facebook, which I have not pre-done. So I'm going to be seeing it for the first time. So 54 minutes ago, amazing. She's sharing a video of her working out. Really great, because what she's doing right here is she's giving people value, right? She's like, okay, you know, here's an idea for a different ab workout. You're not doing crunches. You're not doing sit-ups. Here's kind of an unusual kind of move that you can do that looks fun. She's taking up a lot of the screen, which is nice. So she's up front and center. She's centered. So there's not a lot of like dead space up here. Down here, she's really centered, which is really, really cool. I really like that. So this was last night, ate pizza last night and abs are still popping today. Sometimes the answer. So for one, I'm like, ate pizza and you still got abs? What? I need all about that life, because I love pizza and I love abs. And, but it's nice because it's bright. I like the contrast. I like the white background with the black. And then I'm just like, ooh, look at those pants. I want a pair of those pants. So, so it's really kind of talking about abs and booty program. One thing I personally would change here is I would probably space out the paragraphs, because for me, I am so squirrely that if I see too many lines of words, I'm like, I don't know if I got time to read this. But if there's maybe 2 to 3 sentences, then a space, then maybe 2 to 3 more sentences, then I'm more apt. It doesn't seem as busy to me. And so I might be apt to read it more because my eyes can visually see the spaces, if that makes sense. I love the emojis. Emojis are supposed to be good. I'm struggling with emojis. I still need to work on that. But yeah, I would probably just do more paragraphs right here. One thing I am going to note too, this is fantastic, which I think gets overlooked a lot. When somebody takes time to comment, she's commenting back. And I think that that's something that we can forget a lot about. Like somebody's like, sexy girl, and it's easy to just go click, like it back. But she's taking the time to respond to people, which means that, you know, she's interacting with them and she's building that relationship on her own page because they took the time. So she's taking the time back. So people tell me they forget to eat and I'm like, I don't understand. So this is really funny because, you know, it's kind of relating to, you know, food, right? Because who doesn't love food, right? And so it's just really great that just really simple, and she's got it kind of branded to her brand, which is great. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I get it. What I do is different. So this is a coach post. This is really good. She's got the spaces right here. I would probably have this be 2 paragraphs again, because of my nature. I'm very kind of like, that's a lot of words. But that's just me. But she's sharing about her coaching journey. And, you know, she's just being real, right? Because, you know, a lot of us may have had some preconceived notions about what coaching was or wasn't, or, you know, here are the pyramid schemes or whatever. And so she's just sharing real, like what she thought and what she's found. And then one really great thing that she did here is she's inviting, right? She's asking them, hey, you know, I'm looking for 3 girls that want to do this with me. Are you ready? So she's doing a call to action. She's saying, hey, you can do this too, right? And then of course it's a beautiful picture of her beautiful smiling face, and she just looks happy. And I love that pink lipstick because it just pops. Let's see. Perfect. So I mean, these are always great because they're just bright and awesome. And who doesn't love to travel? She's talking about her business again, being able to mentor women, because guys, a lot of people don't realize that they can do what we do. They sometimes think, oh gosh, well, you're either a personal trainer or honestly, they have no idea what we do. Right. So always remember to put it out there. Like, hey, you can do this too. Let's do this together. Who's with me? Who wants to join me? You know, things like that without being salesy. And that's the thing that I'm noticing is she's not being salesy. She's sharing her life. She's not all about health and fitness. She's a mom, right? So it's showing the real side too right here, which I love. She's showing reality. She's showing, you know, detox. Here's me after vacation, and here's me utilizing the product. But what you'll notice is she's not naming the product. She's not like, hey, I did 3-day refresh and it's $69.95 or whatever the price is. She's describing it, right? So it's piquing people's interest. Like, well, what did you do to get that, you know? And so I really like that. Let's see. Again, I mean, the only thing, like, this is great. This shows, like, for people that love to travel, that's going to resonate with them. They're like, what? I can get paid to travel, or this allows me the opportunities. All really, really great stuff. Does anybody have, this is where I'm going to allow other people to kind of chime in. Does anybody else have any feedback that you guys would like to give?
Anybody? Don't be shy. Don't be scared. I will say this. It's kind of hard in some ways on Alicia's. So understand, first of all, that we have been coaching for a while now. Even with what we're doing with social media, it constantly is changing. So there's going to be little things that change that we kind of have to be ready to adapt to, right? Alicia's also done a lot of training on social media and branding and stuff like that. So when you go through her page, don't, you know, we're looking at, we're like, it's like, we're trying to find something that's like, okay, you need to fix this or whatever. And it's, to be honest, it's kind of hard because she's got it down pretty solid, but it's also because of all of that stuff going on. So don't think like, oh, hey, you know, I've only been coaching for a year or whatever, or 6 months, you know, like, oh, well, my page doesn't look like that. Well, it shouldn't. This is stuff that we learned over a long period of time. So don't be kind of like, intimidated by that at all. understand that this is just a process that we're kind of going through. And there's always something. I'm definitely, like I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I'm the person that's been coaching for a long time. And there's still a lot in my profile that when Alicia was going through it, like we said earlier, that I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Yeah. How did I miss that? Like, how did I doing this? Or yeah, okay, I'm over here. So that's just like a normal thing for a lot of us, right? If we look at Deanna's page would be the same way as Alicia's page. They're really solid on social media. they get that pretty damn well, right? So you look at it and there's like kind of looking for things to kind of fix. So if you look at your page and be like, oh my gosh, I missed that, or I missed that, or I missed that. Hey, you're in my boat. You're in a lot of people's boats. It's just like we always have to be kind of looking at stuff and understanding that things change. So little things, for instance, like Deanna was saying, hey, Alicia's really solid. She responds to all of the comments. Exactly, right? That responding to those comments is important. Aside from the fact, because you guys are coaches that are moving, you're already Emerald coaches. You're moving towards Diamond, right? You're moving into like more of the business side of this, the real business side of this. So we have to start thinking of this like a business. And so one of the things we didn't click on any of the responses. I would venture to say that probably those responses are like 4 words or more, only because there's algorithms that work with Facebook, and what we find, or the most late training, because it's constantly changing, is that if you're responding and you actually add 4 words, it looks like more engagement, and Facebook sees it as more engagement, and so they'll actually show it to more people. If it's under 4 words, for whatever reason, Facebook doesn't recognize that as much engagement, so it doesn't help as much. So there's a little like tweaks and stuff like that we kind of learn along the way, right? But the most important things, which what Deanna was hitting on, is she was sharing herself authentically, honestly, creating engagement through not telling about the products, not naming or branding the products, not showing any of that stuff, showing, those first 5 photos, those highlighting photos, really showing, okay, like Alicia said, it's like, hey, they're going to look at those photos and they're going to look at your cover photo, and is your page really about what those represent? If you're saying I'm about family and I'm about travel and I'm about, I'm about fitness, and then you look at your page and there's nothing about family, travel, or fitness, and they're going to look at you like, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting lied to a little bit, right? I don't know if I can really trust this person because their storefront showed this, and inside I saw shoes on the storefront window and I walked inside and it was cars. What are you doing? Like, that makes no sense to me, right? So this attracted me to come to your page and start looking. Now I need to see what you showed me that I was going to find in this. So there's a lot of that stuff going on. Let me look. Some people were nice enough to say that, so we'll start off. Raise your hand if you want to be first to be audited. We'll probably audit maybe 1, maybe 2 people, and then we'll go. So raise your hand. Roxanne? Okay, Roxanne's going for it. So Deanna, do you want to audit Roxanne's page?
Do you want to audit it?
I can audit it. Yeah.
Just because I'm going to start losing my voice. You know me. Talking too long makes me tired.
No problem.
Wait, no, you heard me doing justice. I was like, exhale.
Roxanne, I'm not going to lie.
Where's my voice going?
Right. I'm the harder one. So are you going to take this all out of love? There's nothing, I'm not going to say anything that's going to be like coming from a place of being, I'm the, you know what I mean? I'm the bad cop.
Bring it on. I can take it.
So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here real quick and go to, let me see if I can even do this. I've got something else open. So let's try this here real quick. All right. Can you guys see this okay? Somebody say yes, because I can't see you at all. Okay, I heard Deanna. Okay. There you are. And that. All righty, Roxanne. Okay. So first of all, again, you're gonna notice we're gonna kind of go in a method about this, right? First thing we look at is the profile picture, because to me, it's the first thing I see. The very first thing I see when I look at anybody is their banner photo, this photo, and their profile photo. Now, her profile photo, I love it. A, because it's bright, because it's clearly her. She's smiling. Guys, this is a big deal. Honestly, we're a business of positivity. We're a business of personal growth. We're a business of changing people's lives and making them live or helping them live a better life. If your profile picture is A, I can't see you, or B, you're not smiling, it doesn't say to me anything positive. It says to me, like, if you look sad, it says to me sadness, right? And it doesn't draw me to you. And I don't think I'm alone in that. So she's smiling. It's lit well, like we're talking about. I mean, I wouldn't change a thing about that profile picture at all. The banner photo is a quote, right? I do like the fact I like quotes. Okay, I get them. I will say this. I would probably change this out, and I would change it to have something that tells a little bit more of a story of who she is, or maybe like, I don't know enough about your family, right? So let me look down here. So clearly, we've got family involved. I'd probably put a family photo up there, right? So people can get to know a little bit more about who you are as a person, right? Maybe the things, whatever is important to you, whatever is the most important to you, probably up here, something else. I think quotes for me, they kind of lose me. I don't really pay attention to them so much. So it's kind of like, okay, this is, to me, I would look at it and be like, okay, that's wasted space that we could utilize to let people get to know us a little bit better, or get to know you a little bit better. So I would probably modify that. Obviously, then the next thing we go to is the intro, and then we move over down into what your history is, right? So I love the fact that, she's a dancing engineer, right? Online wellness coach, helping others. So it gives me a quick snapshot into what she's all about, what she wants to do, and where she's going with this. I like all of this. I don't see any real concerns here, helping others to be their best. I mean, I think that's solid. I think she could potentially add like maybe one more little thing that talks about maybe another interest or whatever. But I don't think she'd have to. I think Roxanne, I think you'd be fine leaving that like that. I wouldn't make a massive change to it. Wellness coach and group. Okay, so I love the fact that it says you're a wellness coach. It does not say Beachbody. Okay, so this is a big thing, right? We didn't see this in Alicia's, so we haven't really talked about it. But many times people will have in this area, they'll have Beachbody coach, right? Biggest thing is do not do Beachbody coach. What you're going to notice is we don't want to see any Beachbody branding stuff anywhere, because here's the deal. We are teamed with Beachbody. Beachbody is an avenue. It's a toolbox. It's a system that we are capable of utilizing to help people change their lives and live better lives. We are not Beachbody. Okay. So we're teamed with them, but that is not who we are. When we are sharing ourselves online, we are sharing us. And it's just that Beachbody is one of the tools that we get to utilize to help people. We also get to utilize ourselves. We also get to utilize our caringness, right? We get to utilize the team as a group of people to help support. We get to utilize all these other tools. Beachbody is one of them. So we don't want to brand ourselves as all about Beachbody. But the other thing about that is when people see Beachbody or anything in here, more often than not, it can actually raise resistance more than it raises any sort of curiosity or excitement. And the being for that is because, unfortunately, there are some coaches out there that push sales really heavily. And so many fears for people, and I know I do this with anything. If I go and see Road & Fields, or I go and see any other network marketing company, or any other company that has tried to sell me something in the past in this area, I immediately put my guard up. And I go, this person is more than likely just saying the things that are on their page specifically because and I'm, keep in mind, I am very cynical about a lot of things, right? So that's partly me. But they're saying these things because whatever it is, they just want me to buy something in the future. Like that is their game, right? So anything in here, hey, you're a wellness coach. That's true. You're a group fitness instructor. That's true. It says that you're into fitness, but it doesn't tell me anything that makes me go, oh, you're going to try to sell me in something. It just tells me, okay, this is what you're into, and this is part of your life. And I think that's amazing. So it's not to say hide this stuff and don't put anything in there about fitness, right? Just don't brand anything. So I love that. I would add another photo right here, right? I'm sure we can find one. I love that you have a photo of family, your food, the team. These two photos are very similar, and there's one missing here, right? So I would find a couple other. I would swap out one of these with another one that maybe has to do with, so one of the things that we do, guys, is we think of kind of 5 things that really describe who we are, right? 5 things that we're really, really, really into that are important to us. So those 5 things, maybe, family, maybe fitness, maybe, who knows, like I'm into guns and cars, right? Like it's going to be those few things. And then whatever those are, put those things, put a photo that represents that to tell people this is here to tell them a story. I want to know everything about you, not everything about you, but I want to know some important things about you from looking at this, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at this just like Alicia and Deanna were talking about, because this is going to tell me what I expect to see. This is our storefront. Now I'm going in the store once I head in here. Okay. So I need to know that A, what is this store going to tell me about? What is it going to be in here? And B, is this stuff going to match up to said store? Right. So I know that you're into food. I know you're into family, and I know you're into fitness, but that's all I know. And I know personally, Roxanne, there's more to you than just that. Right. Not that that's a bad thing, just that quote unquote, but I know there's more to you than that. So I would throw something else in here, and it's going to give more people, the more things to an extent, having a couple extra things gives people a reason to connect to you. So for instance, there's a coach that corporate always talks about, Doug Moss always talks about her, that one of her big things is peanut butter. She freaking loves peanut butter. So she'd probably have a picture right here of freaking peanut butter, right? But it's been an amazing avenue for her to connect with other people who also are like hardcore, diehard peanut butter fans. So it's stuff like that. It's more, like it could be something medial, but I would definitely throw something in here that's, something a little bit different than health and fitness, and I'd swap these two things out. So now the next thing we move to is looking at inside the actual store, looking at this timeline, right? So Roxanne, let me make sure here before I say this. Okay, so Roxanne, you did something that I did as well. So I am just as guilty of this as you are. So just so you know, yesterday at 9:31 a.m. was your last post. Mine was also yesterday around that same time. I did not post last night, and I have yet to post today. So keeping in mind, and one of the things that's really important is that we need to be consistent with our posting. So that looks like 1 to 2 times a day on Facebook, right? Ideally 2, not a lot more than that, right? You can post too much to where people just kind of ignore it and Facebook just doesn't show it to people. So 1 to 2 solid posts are really, really, really important because people need to see that you're consistent. They need you to be showing up. 1, because they need to see the consistency, because consistency lets them know that you're on the right path, right? And people trust consistency, right? Whether you're good or you're bad, if you're consistently bad, people are going to trust that you're consistently going to be bad. Not a good trust, but it's a trust nonetheless. If you're good and you're solid, right, they're going to trust that you're always going to be like that. So if you're posting every day, they're going to trust that you're posting every day and you're posting consistently and that you're going to be there for them. They're also going to see that consistency in your ability to support them when they decide to make a difference in their health and fitness and or when they decide to make a change in their financial situation as a coach. So keeping in mind, I would probably just make sure that, okay, we're trying to be a little bit more consistent with the posts now, with the posts. This one says, they say April was the coolest since 1975. And we know that was an awesome year. So typically what this would be called, I would assume, is what we call an engagement post. And an engagement post is typically where you ask a question or you talk about, usually it's, more importantly, it's you asking a question so that you can get people to engage in your feed, right? The more engagement we have, the more Facebook says, oh, hey, look, this person is posting in some stuff that people like. We're going to go ahead. Oh, sorry. That was weird. We're going to go ahead and we're going to show this to more people. So that's a very important thing. This right now is not asking a question to me. It's just giving me a statement. So there's not a lot for me to really go with here. I personally would probably not comment on it because it looks rhetorical to me, right? Say April's cool since 1975 in Northeast, I can't read, Northeast Ohio. And we know that was an awesome year. Cool. Like that's where I would stop, right? Maybe if I would change this to say, just ask a question at the end, right? They say April was the coolest, since the coolest year since 1975 here in the Northeast Ohio. Do you remember 1975? Would you say that was an awesome year? Whatever it is, right? I'm terrible at coming off the head. I actually have to think about my posts, but you get the point is ask a question so people have something to respond to. Probably a more solid post in something like this would actually be a photo of you outside, right? And maybe that question, make a little collage where it's not collage, but a little photo where it's a picture of you and then in white on one side and then that side you ask that question, right? So that kind of people, again, see more. The more and more they see of your face, I know it can seem like it's very egocentric, if you will. But in reality, people need to see your eyes, and they need to see your smile, and they need to see your face. That's how they connect with you. So that is one thing I would say about that. Let's see, that was yesterday. So today's the 2nd. And so 29th. Okay. So yes, again, this was April 30th, right? So a little bit more consistency in the posting schedule, Roxanne, would be important. I love that you're going live here. Do you need inspiration or desperation to make any any change in life? Oh my gosh. So this is one thing that Alicia actually pointed out on mine, and I think you did a much better job of this. So in the copy, if you're going to do live, first of all, live is massively important. Live is one of the things that is going to get you the most engagement on Facebook. Facebook loves live, so that means that they're inherently going to show this post to more people. So when you think that all of your friends or most of your friends are seeing your posts, I'll tell you that Facebook showed this post to a handful of people. They showed this post to a lot more people, like a dramatically more amount of more people, right? Because it's a live video. They want you to stay on the platform longer. This is going to hold me here longer watching this than this is, right? So this is great. I love the fact that you're going live. I love the fact you've got good lighting. I love the fact that you're smiling the entire time. You look engaging, right? And I love the fact that you asked a question and you gave a little idea as to what I would see in this. Many times people like me will just say, do you need inspiration? Or inspiration. Let me chat about inspiration. Doesn't tell people what they expect to see. So people, as Alicia mentioned in the last call, people, they really, really value their time. So they might look at the description and go, I don't have time to watch that, and I don't really know what it's about, so I'm not going to watch it. So I do like the fact that you did this. Live videos, I am personally terrible about this, but this isn't ridiculously long. It's about 6 minutes. That is a solid time. People won't spend 20 minutes watching a live video like I like to post, okay? So I like the fact that you're keeping it kind of shorter and to the point. So in that case, very solid. And going back to this, yep, forward. So that response is good. And as you can see, she immediately responded to this. One thing, if you're going to do live video or any post, make sure that you spend the next couple of minutes after that post, if you have time, making sure that you respond to everybody, because again, it's going to bring more engagement to your page. And let's see. So moving down. So again, one post, that's not so bad. One, and then the next day, there's immediately one as well. So one a day is still feasible, but ideally probably 2, to be honest, on Facebook. This is really solid. It really can be all about, yeah, I mean, it's still an eye-catching photo. There's still some, in my opinion, there's still some contrast there. So I see it. So maybe you see my post. She's not saying in this anywhere that there's a particular name. So there's no branding. Yeah. If you're seriously ready to make a change, below our message. One thing, yeah, I mean, this is still good. There's a little hint, guys. So Facebook started kind of catching on to the call to action posts, the comment below, right? I don't know if it's comment or comment below or message me that they're finding, but they're finding a handful of those things, and they're not showing those posts to as many people because they recognize that people are using that to promote business on their Facebook page. They want you to do that on their paid business pages. So I would probably change this down here to, instead of saying post below, or post a thumbs up below or whatever, raise your hand below, I would say post and then this little icon, and then maybe the down fingers, instead of below. I would change stuff like that, or just not even take out message and just put the, a little message icon emoji instead of those, because those words are just kind of tag words for Facebook. So I'd probably mention that. Again, you're replying to everybody. That's solid. 28. So you're getting about one post a day. So watch that. This one, kind of like what Gianna said, I would change something like this to 1 or 2 photos, only because the collage, like you said, on phones, it gets so small that it gets to be kind of cluttered. But everything else is really solid. Roxanne, you're doing really well, I think. Is there anybody else, Gianna or Alicia, is there anything I'm missing that you guys are saying? Well, girl, 28th, 23rd? Or is that just the way it's showing up on my timeline? 23rd. I know you did not take a week off. Am I not seeing it? Okay.
No, you're right. I think there was a gap.
There was a gap in time? Okay, so this is not unusual. Guys, people do this all the time, but I will tell you, it is going to be a big deal moving forward to really be consistent and post. We have to look at this like you can't show up to work, right? Whenever you want to show up to work, maybe one day, maybe the next day, and then take a week off and not call it vacation, right? And just not do it, right? Like your job would not allow for that. So everybody kind of has to look at this in that perspective and realize that, like the minute we take time off, right, it's just builds a little bit more, I don't want to say distrust because it's not that dramatic, right? But it's hard. You're trying to build trust with people and you build trust through consistency. So just kind of recognize that. But as far as your posts go, it's really solid. I would just pull out some of the collages and move them to one or two photos and switch that up. But everything else, aside from those few things, I think you're doing great. Does anybody else have anything they want to jump in on that? Deanna, Alicia?
No, I think you did an awesome job.
Yeah, I think, Roxanne, I think you're doing well with Deanna. What do you think?
The only other thing no, you did good. I think I got to pull it up. The only other thing that I'd recommend is, and I didn't look to see how many times it was done, if it was just like a one-time thing, but try not to share other pages' posts. Like what I always try to tell coaches to do is if you find something that you resonate with or you want to tell somebody about, like occasionally is fine, right? Like if there's a really fun video, like the Fitness Marshal, because I love him, I'll share that because I think he's rad. But other than that, if there's something that is informative or like maybe something personal development wise, and you're just like, oh my gosh, this really resonated with me, I want to share it with people. That's a perfect opportunity for a Facebook Live, or that's a perfect opportunity to write out what you learned. So then you're the one providing other people value, not another page. And how the algorithms work, how Facebook decides who gets to see what, sharing does not get you the same attention that a organic post would do. So try to limit the amount you're sharing, just in general. But definitely share the one with Bruno Mars and the other guy, the karaoke, because that's rad. And I would watch that all day long. But yeah, I would say, consistency is going to be your thing. Don't feel like you have to be, I would say the only other thing that I would say is I want to know more about you. I know your health and fitness by scrolling through. I know that you're into clean eating, you're into working out, but I want to know who you are aside from that. So I would love to see more about just your real life. Like it doesn't have to be exciting. It could be boring. It could be like, maybe it's a favorite product you found or a favorite outfit or, whatever, but I want to know who you are aside from a coach.
Is anybody here doing Instagram stories? Who's doing Instagram stories right now? Okay. The beauty about Instagram stories, and trust me, I'm still trying to learn them. So I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert by any stretch. But one of the things about Instagram stories that is the reason that so many coaches are being successful on Instagram, I believe, they're all using stories. And I don't know if you're familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk, but he wrote some incredible books. He's an incredible speaker as well. So check him out. But one of the things he talks about, he knows a little bit about social media and about online business. One of the things he talks heavily about is saying, don't create content, just document. Document your life. Stories are amazing because you don't have time to create content, and more often than not, you can only create so much content. So what people do through stories is they literally just share what seemingly is mundane about their life, but people get to see you and who you truly are. And that is when they go bink and they trust you because they're actually getting to know you. So often we get on Facebook, and I'm terrible about this. We get on Facebook and we create content. And we start sharing the things that we want to share, but we never really give people insight into truly just who we are. That's one of the reasons lives are so important, because even if you're trying to do like I do a lot of like talking about mindset and stuff on live, right? I try to share things, but at very minimum, even if I'm teaching somebody and I'm not really showing like just my mundane life, they at minimum get to see me, listen to my voice, hear me, follow my hand gestures, right? like actually get some insight as to who I am and how I talk and share my excitement. They get to see that, so they connect with me a little bit on that level. But that's what story does. So if we could honestly, I think take the format of stories and with the way we approach stories and translate part of that to Facebook as well, right? The way we share on Facebook. So we're not just sharing before and afters. We're not just sharing fitness. But we're also like, man, I love my coffee, right? Or whatever it is. God, if I didn't have this, I'd probably just roll on the floor right now and beat my face against the cement. Stuff like that seems ridiculous. That's what people are going to connect to because they finally go, oh my gosh, I know Roxanne now. Like I feel like I truly connect to her. She's so much more than just fitness and just, and just food or just health or just whatever it is, right? That's why they say 20% Beachbody, 80% you and who you are. So that's the only other thing I'd say. It's exactly what Deanna hit on. It's the same thing in your 5 profile photos or your 5 highlight photos is literally like, who are you? And that was actually, after she said that, I'm like, that's exactly what I took from it. I love the way you post. I love the way you're sharing. I love the photos and everything. But I still, if I'm completely honest, I don't know you. I don't feel like I'm really getting to know who Roxanne is yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you so much for that feedback. It's funny how I know just recently I was thinking that am I being too self-centered? Because I feel like, I'm always posting about me, but that's great feedback. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No, absolutely. Self-centeredness, guys, only because I had that same concern, only comes from bragging about yourself. It doesn't come from sharing your life. If you're not coming from a place of like, look what I did, man, I drink that coffee so much better than anybody else. You guys suck. That's self-centered, right? But if I'm like, dude, I need this. It's killing me if I don't have it. That's just you sharing life. Those are 2 very, very different things. So I struggled with the same thing. I fully understand where you're coming from. How do we feel on time, guys?
Okay.
Time for one more, or should I don't want to keep you guys here all day if you're like,
I would say if somebody really wants to have theirs critique that, we could do that. And then, if people need to hop off, they can.
I mean, so does anybody absolutely like, I want to have mine critiqued right now?
They're like, not anymore.
Yeah.
That jerk just yelled at Roxanne for the last 20 minutes.
You guys missed Alicia critiquing Justin's page. She was like on top of him, like no.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Jennifer Cowpert's game.
Your game? Okay. Alicia, will you do Jennifer? Because I need outside perspective on it because I know Jennifer too well and Deanna does too. So
Sure.
I'll go easier on you only because I've got that relationship with you.
Does she have a public page profile?
Oh yeah, Jennifer, you're public.
Okay. Because we ran into that problem with Sabrina because I wasn't friends with her. All right.
And it's actually Jen Cowpert. So it's not
Okay.
Jennifer on Facebook.
All right. Dun, 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 dun. Jen. Let's bring you up. Everybody can see my screen, yes? Thumbs up. Okay. All right, let's just dive right in. I'll try and be quicker than I was with Justin. Since we can kind of go through this quickly, since you guys saw it with Roxanne's. All right, profile picture. Awesome. Love it. Close up. Great picture of you. You're looking right into the camera. It's awesome. I can get an idea for who you are right away just from this picture with like your colored hair. That tells us something about you right away. Beautiful smile, your scarf. Great picture. Love it. Wouldn't change anything about there. Okay, let's talk about the cover photo. So the cover photo, I would say, is a little bit busy. It's a little bit overwhelming. There's a lot of pictures in there. And like I was talking about on Justin's profile when I was talking about people's time, people are so possessive of their time, right? And so if I see a picture like this, I'm like, whoa, that's too many pictures. I don't have time to go through all that, right? And it may seem silly because really, what would it take? Like 5-10 seconds? But it's just sort of the mindset that we have around social media. So if our profile or our posts are demanding too much of people to consume them, the likelihood of them doing that is a little bit less. So like how Deanna said on my post, to space out the copy more, great point. So this, like, I like how you have your family here, you have your food, and you have your fitness. but maybe just choose 1 or 2 of these pictures that you like the best and just reconfigure that. So it's a little bit easier for people to see it quickly. Okay? And let's go to your intro. I'm just a regular woman with a love for family, food, and finding amazing strength within. Awesome. That's great. So we know immediately that you like family, you like food, you're about sort of mindset, personal strength. That's great. And let's see, works at Keep It Real Fit with Jen. So that's great. Again, you don't have Beachbody in there. You have your high school. Awesome. Okay, that is great. Now, you probably didn't know about the 5-photo highlight that we talked about today. So you can go back and do that for your profile. So just go through, pick 5 of your photos that you like the best that reflect your family, fitness, food, and post those in there. So then you have immediately 5 photos that reflect you that people can see. All right, so she's got a post up 6 hours ago. Awesome, way to go. Love the picture of the socks. Like, it's such a great picture because it not only shows your awesome legs, so obviously you're fit, right? But it shows your personality. Like, how fun is that you have like crazy wacky socks? Like, that's super fun. Okay. Then let's see, and you're talking about your shoes. Cool. So it's funny because I was instantly drawn to the socks. I didn't even think about the shoes, but I was like, oh, cool socks. Let's see, you get around 10, 11. Okay, awesome. So you're just telling people a little bit about your life, documenting your life, just like Justin was saying before. And let's see, your last post is, so you did 1 post yesterday. Little engagement boost post, that is great, and you're replying to everybody's comments, which is awesome. Way to go. So important, like Justin, I think it was Justin was saying, or Deanna. It was Deanna when she was critiquing my profile, but so important. Okay, so you had another post yesterday. Great picture of you. Awesome. So you're sharing about your struggle, which is so important. People want to know that you struggle too, right? They want to know that you're not perfect, that, you know, just because you're a coach and you're into health and fitness doesn't mean that you're like a, Fitbot 24/7. So that's awesome that you're sharing your struggle here, sharing what you're going through. Let's see. Great way that you're talking about how Beachbody On Demand is helping you. This is a great post because you're sharing your struggle, but then you're sharing how even though like life got crazy, you were still able to make it work by pulling up a different workout and doing it anyways. So that is awesome. One thing I would maybe change about this is this would be a great time to add a little call to action at the bottom. So you just shared about your struggle, how you overcame it, what you used to overcome it. So then you could add a little call to action. Like if you were, a busy person like me, or you struggle to stay consistent with your workouts, or you travel a lot and you need a fitness solution that can come with you, send me a message or comment below and I would love to share what I use. So just like a really quick call to action so that people know, oh, I can do this too. I can get access to this too. It's not just like exclusively to you, okay? So that's the only thing I would change there. That was a post Jessica did on Monday. Awesome. You had a live video. Cool. So one thing I would say, which is what I had said to Justin's profile, and he had touched on this with Roxanne, is have more of what they can expect in the copy. Because for me, if I'm a brand new person, I don't know you. So I don't know, like, or trust you yet. I'm not invested in your journey yet. I don't really have any reason to watch this video. Not to be mean, but I'm just being like totally honest, right? If I'm not already your fangirl and I'm like, oh yay, she's back on Monday, I want to see what she's doing. I'm like, she's back. What is she back with? What is she talking about? I'm not willing to invest my time to find out. So you could say something in here, like, what are you back from? Was there something that you had to overcome to be back on a Monday? And what are you going to talk about, or what are you going to show people or help people with in this video. Okay, so I would add that there. So, I mean, I'm guessing, right, you're going to work out or maybe you're going to show some fitness moves. So tell them that, because then if I know what I'm going to gain from watching your video, then I'm going to give you my time. But until I know it's worth it, I'm not going to give you my time. I'm just going to scroll right by. All right. Moving on, made it back home. Great. So continuing to share your journey, what's going on in your life right now, which is awesome. Food pick. This is great. I love that you're sharing your food. You're sharing that you're meal planning there. That's great. Let's see. Talking about how, yeah, you're not always perfect. This is great because sometimes we'll like secretly binge on pizza, right? Or secretly eat the cake and then be like, but I can't talk about it because I'm supposed to be this health and fitness coach, right? So this is great that you're sharing it, but you're also sharing, you're going to get back on track. And you replied to the comment. That's awesome. Let's just see what you said. Cool. One thing I would say, I love that you did more than just like a yay or thank you. The more that you can add questions and keep the conversation going in the comments, the more that your post is going to get seen, because Facebook sees each comment as engagement on your post. So, hold on. If the doorbell rings, I have to go because I have something being delivered today. So just FYI. But ask a question here. And it could be even something silly as like, how was your weekend? Or what are you up to today? And then literally have a conversation in the comments, and that's going to help the engagement on your post, help get more eyes on your post. Okay. I'm going to post by somebody else. Great, super cute picture of you and your hubby. That's awesome. Oh, did you run the Hood to Coast? Must have run the Hood to Coast or something. Okay.
It was a 200-mile relay race, but similar.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Sorry, I'm like in Oregon, so I just assume, oh, it's the Hood to Coast. Sorry, I think my doorbell's going to ring any minute. Do one of you guys want to take over really quick? Because I have a delivery that I have to sign for.
No, absolutely. No. So Jen, going through it, let me see if I can find a bit of going through it. I mean, so far it's looking really solid. So for you saying that it's going to be a rough one or whatever, that's be tough. Like I think you're doing actually really, really, really well. The only thing, like I didn't go through there too much after that, but the only thing I would say is the stuff that she hit on already is just the collage photo, you know, as the banner photo, only because like she is, you know, and then the copy, same things I struggle with, right? The copy in the video posts, right? Because it is just a matter of like getting people to A, connect with you, but B, I think time is something that we all overlook. It's really easy to overlook. And the fact that we think that people are just going to automatically, when they see it, read what we write or, you know, like watch the video or whatever. But it really does. If people aren't excited about it or if they don't know, then they don't know what to watch. And naturally, I think people just kind of skim past it. Gianna, what?
Sorry, I gotta get going. But really quick, what I would say, and I'm guilty of this too, and something I need to work on. So I think that's why I'm aware of it. Is I would like to see more call to action posts. Not like, hey, everybody want to do this? Join me. But like Alicia said, you're sharing, but at the end, you're doing a call to action. Because I look and you're sharing your journey, but even after doing this for 4 years, people still don't know that they can do what we do. And they don't know that they can be in an online accountability group. They think that they need to be local, or they think, you know, so constantly inviting, like I would say at least once a week, maybe even twice a week. Like I would probably I wouldn't do every day because then you're just kind of but you got to think that everybody's not seeing every single post you do. So why it might seem redundant, to most people, it's not. So, I mean, Alicia, I don't know if you have an amount that you would recommend weekly. I would probably say 2, maybe 3. What would you think?
At least. I honestly invite to either my group or coaching almost daily. And it's not in like a really direct, in-your-face way. right? It's different, but it's usually just somewhere in there telling them to message me, or telling them to comment below, or telling them that they can do this too, or that I'm looking for 3 people, or that I have another group opening. And it's just sort of like integrated in all of my posts, because like Deanna said, not everybody sees every single post of yours. And I always want people to know that they can reach me, because most people won't just like automatically message you on their own. Most people are too scared. And like you said, like, yeah, I've been a coach for 4 years. And sometimes people are like, what do you do? Are you a personal trainer? You know, so it's like, you have to like almost handhold people and like spoon feed them and let them know constantly that you can help them and how you can help them.
Absolutely. Well, hey, I'm sorry if we didn't get to audit your page today, but we don't want to keep you guys on here all day long, and we've got to jump off. But you guys, thank you so much for spending your time. This is going to be in the team page or in the message thread, so if you guys want to check it out again, watch it again. If you are dying to get your page audited, but for some reason and you're like, hey, I really need some help with this, do not hesitate. Reach out to Alicia or Deanna or myself. If you feel more comfortable with one of us, even if we're not your technical coach or whatever, and you want us to go through it with you, we'd be happy to do that. I mean, so never hesitate to reach out, and we'll kind of walk you through the process and just kind of see how we can best help you. Otherwise, if you guys have any questions, you know where we're at. Find us in the message threads. Otherwise, thank you guys very much for coming in and showing up. I appreciate you all, and we will see you guys very soon. Sound good? Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you guys.